What's going on? What's going on, everybody? So, I just got back from a long weekend at a culture conference with my friend's youth group. It was like a church event. A lot of other churches were there. There was a ton of kids. It was a great time, really fun time. And there's a lot I've come to realize through that conference that I might share later on in the coming videos. It's definitely going to be referenced. But in today's video, I just kind of want to hold myself accountable to the masses, to the internet. So, at the culture conference, they had a prayer room where you could pray, or you could just, it was like a quiet room where you could just kind of reflect, meditate on whatever you wanted to meditate on. Uh, and so I grabbed a notebook and wrote down my goals for this next season of my life, because I think life a lot of times is executed through seasons, through temporal time periods. So this is from February 16th, 2026 today to March 27th, 2026. So now through the beginning of spring break for my school, this is what I want to do. This is my goals and systems I have in place for this basically month and a half time period. And then I will probably after spring break, because spring break I'm gonna try and just like hang out and have a good time. Uh Not completely lose everything that I've like accomplished through this, but basically I guess uh reap what I've sowed and enjoy myself somewhat over that time period. Then when spring break ends, I'll reevaluate what I want to do. So these are the goals and systems in place. February 16th, 2026 through March 27th, 2026. Begin every morning with scripture and prayer. That means before anything else approaches me throughout the day that is within my control, I must read the Bible and I must pray. Whether that be one Bible verse in an Our Father, right, or one Bible verse in a Jesus prayer, I will begin every morning with scripture and prayer, right? If I'm running short on time, I'll shorten it up, but I still got scripture and prayer. It's general because I just want to get in that habit. There are some mornings that I just miss it. There are some mornings where I do something else beforehand. And I just find myself not being as happy or as focused throughout the day or as present with not only God, but the people around me if I didn't begin my morning with God by my side. And then the other thing is pray after dinner. So what I find is that when I go to bed, I'm too wiped and too tired to pray. That sounds terrible. And obviously, you're never truly too tired to pray. Of course not. But I just find for myself that I skip it. And a lot of times I just head into bed and I just knock out, right? And which is fine. But I still want to get in the habit of praying in the evening as well. So this will be kind of an evening offering, if you will, to the Lord. It's just going to be begin with an Our Father, some personal petitions, maybe some Jesus prayers, maybe the Creed, something like that. But praying after dinner as my night prayer. I will not miss a day of beginning every morning with scripture and prayer and praying after dinner, or at least praying sometime in the evening. I said pray after dinner because for me, that's kind of like, okay, after this, I'm going to do this. It gives you that convenient kind of time blocking. But sometimes you can't, right? Sometimes if you're having dinner, I mean, you can. If you're having dinner at your friends, realistically, probably not going to happen. So then I'll just pray before I go to my friends. Something like that, right? Just praying twice a day. Ideally, and really only going to be in the morning and in the evening. Um, Beginning my day with God and ending my day with God. Another thing is to journal daily. So this can really be any time throughout the day, but I'm going to journal daily. And so today I wrote down just one thing I'm grateful for. And I said I'm grateful for Culture Conference because I got motivated for God again. I got to hang out with my friend Ezra. Uh, I was there, talk to high quality women, a high quality woman, and meet a ton of new friends. Honestly, make a ton of new friends. That's what I wrote down today. And even if it's little, just saying that one thing, I'm grateful for this because this, and this is going to be great. It's going to be a great way to start my day. And what I kind of want to do is build the habit of just journaling. So saying that one thing. And then after that, after this season, kind of my plan is to say one thing I'm grateful for in the morning and then have like a daily reflection in the evening. But for now, it's just going to be this morning gratitude. Another thing is to do breath work for 20 minutes a day, not meditate, not try and clear my mind, not as a Buddhist Eastern practice, but do breath work to train my nervous system to be calm and stable. Uh, so I'm gonna do that for 20 minutes a day. Um, I haven't done that yet today, but I'm gonna get to it probably within the next couple of hours. I'm thinking usually after lunch. That's kind of what I'm planning on it on days off because today I have a day off from school. Um, so I'm not gonna miss a day of 20 minutes of meditation. The ideal is to do 20 minutes of completely unbroken meditation, but if there's a day where for some reason I need to do 10 minutes in the morning or 10 minutes at night, that's fine. It's just 20 minutes a day. That's what it says. Um, but ideally unbroken. That's gonna be really the main goal. Never miss my skincare routine. I think my skin, for the most part, is pretty. I mean, it's solid. It's solid. But in terms of just hygiene, I have been, especially as of late, just been tired at night, and I don't even bother to do my skincare. Just wash my face and moisturize or exfoliate or something like that. And that's some hygiene. That's just grooming. I've kind of fallen out of it because back in the day I used to be really on it because I wanted to just improve my looks in general. But now that I would say I am relatively an attractive guy, I'm not saying it to brag, it's just what I honestly think. Um, I've kind of fallen out of it. It's that whole thing of like pride cometh before the fall, so I just gotta treat my skin well. That's a more little thing, but a lot of these are just little things that within the next month and a half are gonna add up greatly. Another thing is to do a 3-minute cold shower daily. As a matter of fact, I need to do a checkbox on these two bad boys. So, yeah, 3-minute cold shower daily. I got mine in this morning, ideally in the morning, but once again, it can be any time throughout the day, um, but ideally in the morning. So, that's kind of straightforward. Read 3 books. My plan is to do Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I'm basically like about to finish. Um, as well as How to Think Like a Roman Emperor by Donald Robertson. That's gonna be really good. I've heard that great things about that. I've heard that like after reading Meditations, that's a good book to read. And then The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. That's my 3 reads that I'm gonna try and run. So I need to read 3 books. I'm also gonna take notes while reading. So that's the goal. Is to really get something out of those books. Another thing is nucleus overload. I'm gonna try this. I did it with my shoulders back in like about a year ago, year and a half really. Um, where I did lateral raises like 100 lateral raises with some light dumbbells daily for 3 weeks, then took a week off. I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna do 30 days, then take a week off, and then continue until like this ends. And it's gonna be so I have bands, I don't have a cable machine, so I'm gonna do like people do like cable crunches or rope crunches. I'm gonna do them with bands. It's the same effect. 5 sets of 15 to 20 with a light weight with 20 seconds rest in between to kind of get like a good pump going in the abs daily for 30 days. Take a week off to let it recover and then begin again. I've heard great things about nucleus overload. It definitely helped improve my shoulder muscles, so I'm gonna do it with my abs. As I don't really say I've been bulking, but definitely eating a little bit more. And of course, like I don't really have a gut, but I kind of lost the ab definition when I'm just standing around. So I'm gonna try and do that. And then this is a kind of a more personal one, but I'm gonna share it nonetheless because I think to myself like I'm very much an open book. I love to just share really anything with people. So in terms of kind of a more healing thing, I'm gonna write 3 reflection essays on. mm, I'm gonna write 3 reflection essays. One on relationships, and dating and things like that. Right? Like why? mm, Well, I get to it when I get there. I might share the essay. That's kind of the plan. Not everything. There's some more personal stuff probably. This is just for me, right? I think another one is gonna be a reflection on kind of how far I've come. To be honest, I think I tend to like sell myself, cut myself short, I guess, on certain things. So I plan on doing that, and then another reflection on my future goals and my real future plans. I think writing those is going to be very valuable for me. I love to write. I feel like that's kind of how I express myself in a more personal manner. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make an EP. I'm going to drop an EP. I kind of got the itch to start making music again. I made a song with my friend Ezra yesterday. So yeah, I'm going to drop an EP. Uh, 'Cause I really do like music. I really have a soft spot for music in general, and it's really a hobby that I'm trying to get. I've always wanted to get more into, so I'm gonna go all in and drop an EP, and hopefully an album after that, out by like the end of summer or something. So that's gonna be fun. I'm hyped for that. Um, I'm also gonna play 3 chess games a day. I'm trying to get more into chess. I gotta write the little check marks. I used to really like it, and I'm gonna try and do that. Maintain straight B's in school. Currently, I have straight A's, but to be honest, this is more of a message to me like I don't care about school that much anymore. I'm gonna do what I can to just like maintain like a 3.0 plus GPA, but I don't really like it doesn't affect me that much anymore. I think school is really a lot of BS, and y'all know I think that if you've watched my school system series, that's more of a message to me like, hey, keep your grades up to a certain extent, but school, like, do what you want to do as long as like it's mission focused, as long as it's fulfilling. And that doesn't mean you go out and be a degenerate. That's like go out and do mission focused things that are actually going to build you. Upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the channel consistently. That's like kind of my promise to you guys is that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm going to upload a video. I'm gonna have something out 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is gonna be for the most part what's going down. 9 p.m. lights out if possible. Of course, sometimes you're gonna hang out with friends. You're gonna have late nights that are just unavoidable. But if possible, if in control, a 9 p.m. lights out and a 6 a.m. wake up on school days. So on school days I'll have an alarm for 6 a.m. On non-school days, it's just gonna be 9 p.m. And if I do have to go to bed later, say lights out is at 9:30, uh, for whatever reason, this is how it's gonna be. But yeah, 6 a.m. wake on school days. On non-school days, I let myself sleep in no later than 7 because I don't want to like ruin my sleep schedule unless I'm sick or sleep deprived for whatever reason. So that has some variability, but that's kind of the main focus. That's really, the goal. One, cold approach, a girl. I already got that checked off, which is sweet. I wrote this down Friday night. Saturday morning, we got the cold approach in, so that's down the hatch, which is great, and we're already starting strong then, right? Um, Another thing is one long run a week. So if what I count as a long run is going to be 4+ miles, just one long run a week. Very for me, very therapeutic. Obviously good for cardiovascular health. Very good for just mental toughness in general. I find running as of lately to be very, very therapeutic. So definitely. Uh, Paleo diet, one cheat meal a week. The only things I'm adding into my paleo diet is oats and peanut butter because those are high calorie. It's easy to get down. It's something I'm used to, so I like those. I'm gonna keep those in, and then I'll try to go stricter on the paleo. Um, Maybe when summertime comes around. One sprint workout per week. I know the benefits of sprints in terms of growth hormone, fast twitch muscle fibers, the central nervous system in general, testosterone, mental well being. Like sprints are great. Sprints are phenomenal. So one sprint workout per week, trying to get in that habit. I used to be super into sprinting, and it kind of fell off. So I'm gonna get back into that. One boxing workout per week, whether this be sparring with my friend Lucas, whether this be hitting the bag, whether this just maybe someday I just don't really have the opportunity. Shadow boxing, uh, basically like a 60-minute boxing workout weekly, maybe like 30 minutes of boxing and 30 minutes of like a circuit or something like that. Just like a boxing style workout once per week. And then one time per week, 1 hour of just sitting in silence, which sounds crazy, but I think I've heard that's just great for you to like be alone with your thoughts, even though it can be uncomfortable. You can figure out a lot about yourself in that time period when you're just alone with your thoughts, and you can really just reflect heavily uh, on the things you need to reflect on. So definitely 1 hour of silence one time per week. I'm gonna read these goals daily. Read what I need to do daily, and so that is my goals and systems in place for February 16th, 2026 through March 27th, 2026. I hope maybe you got some inspiration out of this for your goals or your systems or something you want to put into place in your life with what I've written down right here. Um, I think this is balance. I think it's not just be a slave to work. I think it's, worship God, worship our Creator, grow with Him, grow in your goals, grow in your work, but also grow in your hobbies as well, and grow in your health. Just really, I think a balance, grow in your social skills. So that's what we got going on. Hopefully, you guys got something out of it. And shoot, freaking drop my journal. But yeah, hopefully, you guys got something out of it. And As always, God bless.